Well, gas prices are hitting a record low this holiday season, leaving you with more money in your pocketbook. But with different gas prices across the city, can you save even more by shopping around?
Channel 6's Andrew Moore did the math to help you save money. That's right, Andrew, you're here to do the math, so we at home don't have to do the math.
Yeah, guys, gas is cheap right now, but can you save even more money if you drive to the cheapest gas in the city, or is that drive just not worth it? Well, I did the homework to find out. Driving around Temple today, we saw prices ranging from around $2.30 to almost exactly $2 to $1.80. Big difference, right? So how much money can you save by driving further? Well, if you need more than 10 gallons of gas, you can save a few dollars in the best case scenario. Driving 3 miles from the pricey Valero on 35 to a CEFCO outside 363, you would save around $4.50 even if you were driving a gas guzzler. That's $5 of savings minus fuel costs because of the 50-cent price change. Driving from Exxon to the CEFCO, only a mile away, I save $2 on 10 gallons of gas at a 20-cent price difference. But are the few extra bucks worth it? Well, not all drivers think so.
I usually have my 2 kids with me, so sometimes convenience outweighs the price because it's close and it's just right on my way.
If it was like a mile and I had to cross a bunch of traffic and it was difficult to get there, I probably wouldn't do it.
But how can you be sure you are saving money? Well, with the current gas prices, use the more than 10 rule. If you need more than 10 gallons of gas and it's more than 10 cents cheaper, you'll save at least $1 by driving a mile or 2 out of the way. Alternatively, AAA Texas says the average gas price for Bell County is currently $1.99 a gallon, so just try not to pay above that. Guys?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense paying $2.30 when there are a lot of places around town right around $2.
Quite high.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.